We'll start today's part with a Pokemon battle between Ash and the gentleman. Both Pokemon seemed evenly matched. The gentleman commands Raticate to use Hyper Fang, but Butterfree was able to dodge the attack. Ash's Butterfree used Sunspot on Raticate, but the gentleman decided to call off the battle. The gentleman said, "Nice battle, we should call it a tie." Ash was really annoyed of the outcome of the battle. Ash and his friends were enjoying their meal. The gentleman and his missus came up to Ash. "You know that Butterfree of yours is quite extraordinary." "Well, I put a lot of work into raising it," Ash said. Then the gentleman asked Ash, "What did you think of my Raticate?" Ash responds with, "It was great, it really put up a good fight." The gentleman asked Ash if he would like to have a trade. Ash wasn't sure, so he asked Brock for some advice, and Brock, being a ladies' man, said to Ash, "You should trade," and Ash said, "Well, okay." The two put their Pokeballs into the machine and the gentleman pressed the button. Well, that's that. Raticate is your new Pokemon. I hope you enjoy it. Ash was staring at the Pokeball intensely. Misty comes up to Ash and asks him what's the matter. Ash said, "I was thinking of that guy. Will he take good care of my Butterfree? I just traded my Butterfree to some guy I don't even know. If he'd take care of it the same way I did." Misty said, "Well, look at the bright side. You got a new Raticate, and you can always ask him to give you a Butterfree back." Ash said, "Thanks, Misty. I feel a bit better knowing that." Everyone was chilling, having a good time. Then out of nowhere, Team Rocket showed up and stealing people's Pokemon. Ash was not having it and told Pikachu to use Thunderbolt on the Team Rocket grunt. Everyone was inspired by Ash and they sent out their Pokemon to battle. It was going really well, and seeing all the other trainers sending out their Butterfree. "Alright, now it's my turn. Go, Butterfree!" But when the Pokeball opened, Raticate was there. Ash had completely forgot he had a Raticate now. So Ash sent out his Pidgeotto to help the group. They all used Gust on the Team Rocket grunts. With all the grunts defeated, everyone celebrated. It was short-lived because the cruise was going all over the place thanks to the storm. Ash was looking for the gentleman, but there was no sign of him anywhere. Misty said, "Come on Ash, we gotta go, the ship is sinking." Then Ash said, "Hold on, what about my Butterfree?" Brock said, "Don't worry, I'm sure he's in the lifeboat with everyone else." And Ash and the gang got on the last lifeboat. Then the cruise tips upside down. Ash was looking at the lifeboats, but he did not see the gentleman anywhere. Ash was devastated because this means his Butterfree could be gone forever. Suddenly, Ash started crying over the loss of his best friend. Brock said, "This is all my fault. I should have never made you trade in the first place. I wasn't in the right state of mind. All I was thinking about was that pretty woman, and now you are stuck with that Pokemon. I am truly sorry, Ash. I will never pressure you like that ever again." "Thanks for the apology, Brock. I really needed that. I was blaming myself for what happened there. I shouldn't have listened to my gut, but now it's too late. I just hope they all can make it out of the cruise somehow." Then we cut to a few days later with Ash and the gang travelling to Celadon City. Virtually nothing changes. Everything plays out more or less the same way, with Sabrina triumphs in the first match, destroying Ash's Pikachu with her Kadabra. They all travel to Lavender Town to find a ghost-type Pokemon. Ash befriends a wild hunter, and the Pokemon decides to follow them back to Celadon City. Ash returns to the gym to have a rematch against Sabrina. Ash is a lot more confident this time around and he chooses Hunter, but the Pokemon is nowhere near to be found. Ash started panicking. "Hunter! Hunter, where are you? This was not part of the deal. You're supposed to help me win the gym battle." "Enough stalling. Send out a Pokemon at once." Ash nervously said, "Okay." Ash asked Pikachu, but Pikachu didn't want to battle. Ash asked the 3 Kanto starters, but they didn't want to battle either. They were all too scared. Just when all hope seemed lost, Raticate came out of its Pokeball on its own, letting Ash know he's ready to battle for him. Sabrina said, "I admire your Raticate's bravery, so let the battle begin." Sabrina commands Kadabra to use Psybeam, but before it has a chance to use the move, Raticate was moving at incredible speed, hitting Kadabra with a powerful blow and doing a lot of damage. Ash was amazed by the move it just used. Sabrina said that move your Pokemon used was called Sucker Punch. It's a great move against Psychic type Pokemon. Sabrina commands Kadabra to use Psychic on Raticate, tossing it up in the air. As it was about to land on the ground, Raticate used Dig at the last second, hitting Kadabra once again. Raticate charged head-on with a Hyper Fang. Sabrina commands Kadabra to use Psybeam, hitting Raticate and causing it to get confused. Ash gives Raticate a command to use Dig, but the Pokemon didn't do anything. Sabrina commands Kadabra to use Psychic, throwing the Pokemon all over the place. Raticate was about to hit the wall, then Ash commands Raticate to bounce off the wall then bite the spoon. But the Pokemon was still confused, so it attacked its head instead, doing a lot of damage. Sabrina commands Kadabra to use Psychic, but the grip was too strong and the Pokemon goes down. Ash couldn't believe it, but he actually won. Sabrina was furious and said, "You're supposed to play with me, it's not fair. You know what? I'm going to turn you into a doll anyway." Ash said, "Wait, I won fair and square, you have to give me the badge, that's the rules." Sabrina said, "I don't care." Then Hunter shows up at the perfect time to save Ash's life by making Sabrina laugh, just like in the original timeline, and Ash gets the badge. They all left the gym. Ash thanks Raticate for doing a great job in the gym battle. "I wouldn't be able to win without you. I don't understand why that guy would want to trade you away like that. You are an awesome Pokemon. I just wish I can have you and Butterfree on the team." Ash was about to break down, but Raticate jumped and hugged him, and Ash embraced it. Brock was looking at the two, and he still blames himself for what happened. This two would not be in any pain if it wasn't for me, he thought to himself. Then we move on to the events of Bye Bye Butterfree. Ash and the gang were on their way to Celadon City. Ash was excited for his next gym battle. Ash noticed something in the sky. Misty said they look like Butterfree. Brock explains this is the place Butterfree find mates and lay their eggs across the sea. This happens once a year. Ash found a hot air balloon and they all decide to go on it. What a view, Ash thought to himself. The gang saw all the other balloons and the trainers letting out their Butterfrees. The gentleman and his missus said to Butterfree, "Find your soulmate." But the first thing it sees was Ash, and it decides to come up to Ash and give him a big hug. Ash starts to break down crying while hugging his Butterfree and says he's so sorry for ever wanting him to trade him away, and he's so happy that he's alive. Ash says, "Not only I will find you a mate, we're going to find you the best one because you deserve it." Then the gentleman noticed Ash's balloon and said, "Long time no see." Ash asked, how did they survive? The gentleman explains, they had to work together with those Team Rocket grunts to escape. And one of them kicked a Magikarp and it evolved into a Gyarados and it went on a rampage. But thanks to Butterfree, we was able to defeat the Gyarados and I was able to capture it. So, how is Raticate doing? "It's doing fine," Ash said. "It helped me win my gym badge from Saffron City." "That's great," the gentleman said. "I heard she's one of the tougher gym leaders." We focused back on Butterfree. It found a pink Butterfree. It was dancing off, showing off its moves, but she rejected him with a slap. "Butterfree got shot down," Brock said. Butterfree was left heartbroken and it flew away. They all went out looking for it and they found it. They all comforted Butterfree and inspired it to keep going and to never give up. Then, out of nowhere, Team Rocket showed up, stealing the Butterfrees. They all found Team Rocket's base. The squad helped Butterfree distract Team Rocket, and Butterfree was able to save all the other Butterfrees. They all managed to defeat Team Rocket, and the pink Butterfree finally fell in love with the gentleman's Butterfree. And just like in the original timeline, Ash has to say goodbye to Butterfree, and the two hug each other for the last time. Ash tells Butterfree to follow its love life, and to do whatever it feels comfortable doing. "I want what's best for you, even if that means we'll never see each other ever again. I'm going to miss you, buddy, and good luck out there and start an amazing family. I will always remember you. Thanks for everything, Butterfree." Ash asked the gentleman if he would like his Raticate back, since you don't have a Butterfree anymore. The gentleman said he really appreciates it, but I want to honour our agreement. It's your Pokemon now, and I always ask if you take good care of it, show Raticate the same love as you did with Butterfree, and you two would make an excellent team. "I wish you good luck in the Pokemon League, Ash." Ash thanks the gentleman. Brock said to Ash, "You have a lot of courage. It's not easy to let go of something you love, but you handled it really well and I'm really proud of you, Ash. Thanks, Brock. Now let's head back on our road to Celadon City so I can get my next gym badge. Then we can move on to the events of Primeape Goes Bananas." This episode can play out the same way with Ash catching Primeape like in the original timeline. The only difference is Primeape is at Professor Oak's lab for the time being. Then we cut to a few days later, with Ash and gang arriving in Celadon City. Just like in the original timeline, Ash trashes on Erica's perfume, saying it's a waste of money and it turns guys into zombies like this. To no one's surprise, they kick Ash out and Ash said, "That's fine, I'm going to Celadon City's gym anyway." But when he arrived at the gym, they didn't let him in because they heard what he said about their perfume. They happened to be good friends with Erica, and they told him to leave. Ash happens to bump into Team Rocket. Jessie said to Ash, "Even though you're a pest, I'm willing to make a deal with you. If you will lease us, we will help you get into the gym." Ash responds with, "Why should I trust you? You cause me nothing but trouble." Face the facts, if you can't get the badge, then you won't be able to compete in the Pokémon League. Then we cut to when they put their disguises on. They went to the gym and successfully fooled everyone, and they went their separate ways. Ash found the gym leader. He was trying his best to blend in. Pikachu knew it was Ash all along and he started hugging him. Ash said, "Hey, knock it off, Pikachu, you're gonna blow my cover." Pikachu was furious and he decided to use Thunderbolt on Ash, destroying his disguise. Ash told Erica he had to wear that disguise because you wouldn't let me in the gym, and now I want to challenge you to a gym battle. Erica responds with, "Fine, I'll accept your challenge. We'll both use 3 Pokemon each." "Alright, Raticate, I choose you." Then Erica sends out her Tangela. Ash commands Raticate to use Super Fang. Erica tells Tangela to slow Raticate down with a Sunspore. Raticate was growling in pain, but that pain turned to its greatest strength with its red aura. Erica commands Tangela to use Fine Whip. Ash tells Raticate to use Quick Attack, dodging the fines and landing a direct hit, knocking out the Pokemon. Then Erica sends out her Weeping Bell. She tells Weeping Bell to use a Razor Leaf attack. Then Ash tells Raticate to dodge the attack by using Dig, hitting the Pokemon, and it goes down after just one attack. Everyone is watching the match and they were all impressed. "Your battling skills are quite impressive, Ash. Your Raticate is well trained, but now it's time for my ace. Gloom, let's go." Gloom used Poison Gas, and the smell was too much for Raticate to take and the Pokemon goes down. Ash thanks Raticate for such a great performance it did in the battle. It definitely deserves a lot of rest. Then Ash sends out his Charmander. Erica tells Gloom to use Poison Gas once again, but Ash is prepared this time and tells Charmander to use Fire Spin, not only countering the Poison Gas but also trapping Gloom in the process. Ash tells Charmander to finish this off with a Skull Bash, and after the powerful blow, Gloom goes down. "I proudly present you with this rainbow badge." Ash was so happy to get another gym badge. The rest of the episode can play out the same way, with Team Rocket stealing their perfume and causing the gym to be set on fire. Ash saves Gloom's life and Erica is extremely grateful. The episode, The Punchy Pokemon, can play out mostly the same way, with Ash and Primeape winning the P1 championship. The only difference is Ash ends up keeping Primeape because he doesn't want another repeat of what happened to Butterfree. The next episode, Sparks Fly for a Magnemite, can play out the same way like in the original timeline, with Ash catching Muck, but it goes straight to Professor Oak's lab. Then we can move on to the events of the Ninja Poké Showdown. This episode can play out very similar to the original timeline, with Ash defeating Koga's sister. Then Koga reveals he's the actual gym leader. Koga sends out his Venomoth, and Ash sends out his Raticate. Koga commands Venomoth to use Bug Buzz. Ash tells Raticate to dodge it by using Dig, hitting Venomoth with a powerful blow. Venomoth used Disable. Raticate charged head on with a Sucker Punch attack. Venomoth fell to the ground. Venomoth used Sleep Powder. Ash commands Raticate to use Dig, but the attack wasn't working and Raticate fell to sleep. Ash was left there confused, he didn't understand why Dig didn't work. Koga explains to Ash how the move works, disabled the foe's most recent move, and that happens to be Dig at that point. Ash recalls Raticate and apologizes for his mistake. At least I know for next time, you deserve a lot of rest, my friend. Then Team Rocket show up, and just like in the original timeline, thanks to the help of Voltop, Team Rocket was sent blasting off again. The rest of the battle can play out the same way, with Charmander defeating Golbat, and evolves into a Charmeleon way earlier than in the original timeline. Since Ash has earned more of his badges legitimately, Charmeleon obeys Ash in his timeline, giving him a powerhouse on his team. Then we can move on to the Safari Zone episode where in canon, Ash catches 30 Tauros like in the original timeline. Then we can move on to the events of Attack of the Prehistoric Pokémon. The first part of the episode can play out the same way with Ash and Team Rocket stuck underneath the cave. They were trying to find a way out, but they found some ancient Pokémon and they did not look happy at all. They realised it must have been the bomb that woke the Pokémon up. Ash sends out Charmeleon, and unlike in the original timeline, Charmeleon is willing to help. It was battling a Omastar. Despite having a massive type disadvantage, Charmeleon was holding its own. Omastar used Rollout and Charmeleon used Counter to defeat the Omastar. The attack was so powerful it awakened Aerodactyl and it kidnapped Ash. Charmeleon was furious and wanting to save his friend. Charmeleon evolves to Charizard to put Aerodactyl in its place, and just like in canon, Jigglypuff put everyone to sleep. Charizard was covering its ears long enough to save Ash's life and then it went to sleep like everyone else. Jigglypuff was angry, so it threw on everyone's faces and left. After a month of travelling, they arrive at Cinnabar Island to get Ash's 7th gym badge. They had to solve some riddles in order to get some food and shelter for the night. After a while, the trio finally found a hotel. Once there, Misty's Togepi wanders off and by absolutely dumb work, ends up finding the secret path to the gym. Blaine praises them for finding the gym, so Ash challenges him to a battle. Blaine sends out Ninetales and Ash sends out Primeape. Blaine commands Ninetales to use Fire Spin. Then Ash tells Primeape to counter it with a Stone Edge, overpowering the Fire Spin and hitting Ninetales for super effective damage. Ninetales getting back up its feet. Blaine tells Ninetales to use a Shadow Ball. Then Ash tells Primeape to use Focus Punch on the Shadow Ball, sending it back, hitting Ninetales. Blaine commands Ninetales to use Hypnosis on Primeape, but the move had no effect. Ash, capitalizing on it, tells Primeape to finish this off with a Thrash attack. Blaine recalls Ninetales back to its Pokeball. Your Primeape must have Vital Spirit. That explains why it didn't fall asleep. This is a great start to the battle. Now it's time for me to send out my second Pokemon. Rhydon, let's go! Rhydon, use Fury Attack. Primeape, counter it with a Mega Kick. Despite the move not being very effective, it's still enough to push Rhydon back. Into testament of Primeape's strength. Refusing to take this lying down, Rhydon then attempts to charge on with a Mega Horn attack, landing a direct hit and doing a lot of damage to Primeape. Blaine commands Rhydon to use another Fury attack. Ash tells Primeape to use a Seismic Toss, and Rhydon goes down. Just like in the original timeline, Team Rocket tried to steal Magma, but destroying parts of the gym in the process. Charizard and Magma end up working together by throwing rocks to stop the lava from spreading. And the rest of the battle can play out the same with Charizard defeating Magma with an epic Seismic Toss. Everything can play out the same up until when they arrive at Celadon City. For Ash's last gym badge, to their surprise, when they enter the gym, they discovered that the Team Rocket trio are the temporary gym leaders. Jessie said they will use 2 Pokemon each. Ash sends out Charizard and Jessie sends out Kingler. Kingler, use Crab Hammer. Quick, Charizard, dodge it. Now Charizard, use Takedown attack. Alright Kingler, now use Bubble, landing a direct hit on Charizard. Ash asked Charizard if he was okay. Charizard got back up at its feet and it's still ready to battle. Now Charizard used Fire Spin, trapping Kingler in the process. There's nothing that Jessie could do. Alright, now let's finish this with a Dragon Breath. And the Pokemon goes down. Jessie recalls Kingler back to its Pokeball and then sends out Rhydon. Alright Rhydon, let's end this towards Charizard quickly as possible with a Horn Drill attack. Charizard, fly behind Rhydon and grab it. Yes, way to go Charizard, now use your Seismic Toss, full power! Rhydon lands on the remote control, causing the gym to explode, making the trio blast off again, and the Earth Badge lands perfectly on Ash's hand. Ash was so happy because this means he can finally challenge the Pokemon League. Then we can cut to a couple months later and the Pokemon League has begun. In this time frame, Ash has been training his Pokemon non-stop and they're in tip-top shape. And just like in canon, Ash sweeps Mandy's team with his newly evolved Kingler. Likewise, rather than honing his tactical thinking against Jeanette Fisher, Ash has Charizard simply burn down the grass field, burning Bellsprout alike, advancing Ash to the top 16 much easier than in canon. During this time, he meets and befriends a boy named Richie, with the brunette boy being particularly impressed with how strong some of Ash's team is, which makes him more excited to battle him, and battle they do. Team Rocket was planning on stealing Ash's Pokemon, but Ash made quick work of them. And then Ash sends out his Charizard to fly him to the stadium so they could finally start their match. Ash asked Charizard if he would still want to battle, or would he like to have some rest for a while. Charizard gave Ash a thumbs up and he's willing to battle for him. Thank you Charizard. Then Richie sends out his Sparky. Alright Charizard, use Flamethrower. Alright Sparky, use Agility to dodge Charizard's Flamethrower. Sparky, use Quick Attack on Charizard. Now use Thunderbolt, doing super effective damage, and it was a critical hit. Charizard is on its last legs. Charizard, use Flare Blitz. Sparky, use Full Tackle. Both Pokemon charged head on and their blows were so powerful it caused an explosion. And the battle ends in a double knockout. Both Ash and Richie recall their Pokemon back. Go, Happy! So Richie's second Pokemon is a Butterfree, huh? Well, I know exactly who I'm going to use for this battle. Raticate, let's go! Happy, use Sleep Powder. I thought you'd do something like that. Now Raticate, use Dig to avoid the Sleep Powder. Now jump out of the hole and use Hyper Fang. Happy, use Bug Buzz, landing a direct hit on Raticate. Happy, use Air Slash. Alright, now use Tackle Attack. Raticate, counter it with a Sucker Punch. And now Raticate, use Quick Attack. And Happy goes down. Richie recalls Happy back to its Pokeball. Sipple, I choose you. Alright Sipple, you're my last hope now, and we gotta make this battle end as quick as possible with a Fire Spin attack. Raticate, dodge it by using Dig, doing super effective damage to Sipple. Sipple, use Slash Attack. Raticate, use Hyper Fang on Sipple's hand. Great job Raticate, now finish this off by tossing Sipple hard to the ground. Sipple is unable to battle. Raticate is declared the winner and Ash is advancing to the next round. Both Ash and Richie recall back their Pokemon. That was an amazing match, Ash. If I had to lose to someone, I'd want it to be a friend like you. Now go out there and win the league for the both of us. Thanks Richie, I'll do my best. For the remainder time of the league, Ash uses Charizard, Raticate and Primeape consistently throughout his next matches. With those powerhouses, no one stood a chance. And Ash was crowned the winner of the Pokemon League. Everyone was so proud of Ash for his huge accomplishment. Ash's mum was crying of tears of joy. Mr. Goodshow gives Ash his trophy. Ash was so happy. He still can't believe he actually won. I can't wait to show Gary my trophy. He's going to be so jealous. Mr. Goodshow asked Ash if he'd like to challenge the Elite Four. Ash thought about it for a while, but he turns it down for now because even though his Pokemon are strong, he still doesn't think he's quite ready for something like that yet. Mr. Goodshow says that's perfectly fine. He's looking forward to see what else Ash can do and wishes him the best of luck. Ash thanks him. Richie comes up to Ash. I knew you can do it. You are an amazing trainer. So, what are your plans now, Ash? I'm planning on defeating my rival once and for all, and once I do, I know I'll be ready to battle the Elite Four and Champion. That sounds like a great plan, Ash, and hopefully we'll battle again someday. Goodbye, Ash. Goodbye, Pikachu. Bye, Richie. Ash walked up to the others. Professor Oak said to Ash, you have come a long way, considering you were the last trainer to leave my lab, to becoming a champion of the Kanto region. Let's head home, shall we? After all, you and your Pokémon deserve a huge party. And this is where we're going to leave things off for now. If you enjoyed this video, please consider liking and sharing. It will greatly help to grow and sustain the channel. And if you like what you see, hit that subscribe button, and I hope you all have a great day.